Oh. Yay! Whoopee! Far out. That'll be the clip for the beginning of the show.
Just like that.
Just doing this. Yeah. So, hey, good morning, everyone.
Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.
Look, Cargis chiming in from the future.
What up, man? Portugal.
Or the past. Yeah, future?
No,
It's got to be the future.
Yeah,
I feel like it's always the future. Eduardo.
Hey, buddy.
You might be getting a call for an alarm.
For an alarm, yes.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to apologize now. Fang of Truth is first. Keeper of the time. What is up?
What's up?
Waterlogged Twin Cities checking in. You guys getting rain too? Man, I checked out the Biggie on the Morel website. Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm. Very cool, right? It's cool.
So speaking of Biggie,
Biggie Small.
Yeah, that was the one Joe Coy thing?
That was one of my favorite freaking jokes that he did.
Yeah. So if you're
on Netflix,
if you're fans of
Joe Coy.
Let me start over.
Yeah.
If you have Netflix and you're fans of Joe Coy, he just came out with a new stand-up comedy. It's like an hour. It's hilarious as always. The guy's hilarious. I love the guy. He's great. But it was really funny. And so, anyways, enough of that. We're here. We're going to do some stuff. We got some cool things to talk about. We're going to do a quick, hey, Mary Lou, how are you?
Oh, finally, you got early here.
Yeah, I know. What the heck? Oh, my gosh, it's Baba.
Hey, man.
There you go. What's up? Good to see you guys. Lexus with premium. Don't even get me started.
Mark Manson.
Yeah, I'd still like to have a couple of the Morel IKEA speakers. Yes, the Heg Talar. I think they're still available, but the Heg Talar for sure is really nice. So hi from Vancouver, BC. What is up?
BC is what?
British Columbia.
I thought it was before Christ.
It is. That's BC and AC. It's acronyms, man.
I love acronyms.
What's up, guys?
What up, Chris?
Sweden checking in. Sweden.
Finish on time
Not
today.
to be confused with Switzerland.
No.
Not the same place.
No. I want to go to Sweden.
Sweden, way more fun.
Oh, I've never been, but.
I don't know either. I've been to Switzerland, but I was only in the airport, and it was not very fun. They all had guns. Lots of guns, which was really neat. And bugles. That was all they had was bugles. The airplane food. You know,
oh, okay.
Bugles?
Yes.
That's all they had. Like 20 different flavors of bugles. And I'm like, and chocolate. And I'm like, why bugles? I don't want bugles on a plane. Luckily, Air Switzerland had ice cream on the plane, which was really nice. Spring Hill, Florida, checking in.
There you go.
Woo, look at that, right down. Is Angel here? I guess Angel's here somewhere. So AC or DC? I know, right? That can be so.
I like AC DC.
Finished on time today. There you go.
Very good.
Whoa, why did it do that?
Because they just pushed the update.
No.
So
I just wanted to go away.
I know.
Okay.
Start. Just nope.
That's all it would let me do.
All right. So
it sucks so bad.
What up, Angel? What's up, fellas? Hope everyone is good. Had a good Father's Day. How was your Father's Day?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I built Legos all day.
Nice.
You know, we built Legos. We had pizza. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I fixed the fence. So I did some work in the morning. Garage door still broke, even though, that was the capacitor. It wasn't the capacitor. The WD-40 didn't fix it.
How do you know?
I mean, I spent the money.
Yeah.
So real quick before we get too deep into this, let's jump over to the 12-volt Clean Wire Club, which is on the laptop here. Let's hide Angel's comment. So if you guys don't know, we do the 12-volt Clean Wire Club over on Facebook. It's a group if you do cool wiring, and Fernando scours the page every Sunday, Father's Day in this case, and finds someone that he likes. Today's sponsor, this picture is brought to you by the fine folks at D&F Tool Drawer.
Yes. Where
you can pick up the cool IRTA2 and or find all the tools that we use in our installations. So you can click on them, and it helps to pay for the show. We don't actually sell you those. Those are Amazon. But the IRTA does come directly from Haley's hands to your doorstep. So
there you go.
That's what we pay her to do, is ship off IRTAs. She enjoys it so much. And every RTA, believe it or not, comes with a special gift.
So order it now.
Yeah. Anyways, who do we have here, Fernando?
His name is Jacob.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's been putting some cool work.
Very nice.
Yes.
Lots of zip ties.
Lots of zip ties.
And on this truck that we have out of frame here, a lot of zip ties do not save the day. I can just tell you right now. I probably cut off 100 zip ties underneath the hood. What a disaster. What a bad way to sacrifice a zip tie.
I removed probably like 2 rolls of black tape.
Yeah. Oh, the good kind.
like electrical tape. Oh my God. It's
nice.
Crazy.
That's fantastic.
Not really.
No, come on, it's the best. Hey guys, go ahead and get your questions in. So if you got questions, Danny, 97 degrees in Michigan. Michigan is spelled the same way as Chicago. But yeah, go ahead and get your questions in. We'll be getting to those. But before we get to those,
yeah.
Jesus, Christian, let it go, man.
Huh.
He says, I want an 8-inch. What's up this time? On time thing. What's up, Dougie Fresh?
What up, man?
Mr. Rockford. Hold on. Dean, why do you say only get 9 series Exelon? Are the rest no good? Only get 9 series Exelons. Or a 10. You get 9 or 10. Anything above a 9 or 10. Listen, here's the thing. Whether they're good or not, the reality is the difference between getting the best and settling on something that's not the best is only like $150. Not even. Okay, depending on which one you go with. In the world of radios, everyone on this page is trying to make the best sounding radio possible, right? $150 should not be the thing that ruins the system, right?
Sure. So
spend the extra $150 and get the best one that they make, or one of the best ones. There's 3 different ones to choose from, so there are various price points. Just get the best one, because why doesn't it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't build your castle on sand. Build it on a nice, firm foundation.
I like the beach.
I like the beach too, but then you got to hammer telephone poles into the ground till you hit bedrock.
We're Mexicans, bro. We know how to do it.
Yes, hammer telephone poles in the ground till you hit bedrock. Anyways, it only makes sense to get the best one or one of the best ones if you're trying to build a badass stereo. Okay, I understand the need to cut corners or save money or whatever. Do it someplace else, because the source unit is just that. It's the source units where everything comes from. I cannot express enough how skimping $100 on a radio will screw everything up. So don't do that. You good?
Yes.
Okay.
You let me know. I mean, you want to show something
okay,
else.
so I'm gonna hide the current comment, and Fernando's gonna keep going. But yes, hold on, I gotta post this. This is good. Round corners, don't cut them. That was fantastic. I love that. All right, so we put together some of the cool things that we saw this weekend.
Our trip in Knowledge Fest.
Not this weekend, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know where we are.
And we wanted to share some of these things with you guys just because, well, we thought they were cool. And sometimes when we talk about cool stuff, you guys like cool stuff.
All right.
So, first things up. Let me come over here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this again. Perfect. So we got to stop by JK Tapes. Mr. Jimmy Katz was there. For those of you that are wondering why it's called JK Tapes, Jeremy Katz. Anyways, they had a bunch of stuff to see. One of my favorite tapes in the whole world is Super Red. Okay.
Super Red?
Super Red is the most amazing tape. That's not tape.
No, but
it's not tape. It is in the background, but it's not tape. So Super Red is a double-sided acrylic tape that once you put that back over there. Yeah. It's gonna get in the way. When you put it on acrylic or plastic or stuff like that, it stays workable for a couple minutes, but as time goes on, it actually will glue 2 pieces of acrylic together. It's awesome tape. It's like we use to build amp racks. We use it for everything. What I'm showing you there is super thick. Like we have like 1/2 inch, and I think we bought a roll of inch, but they have it in like 5 inch and 8 inch to where you can like lay it over the whole back, and then when you laser something out, you can stick it on, and it's like, oh, this is so cool. I need to get some of that. So I took a picture of it just so I would remember, and I just wanted to show you guys. It's an expensive roll of tape, but man,
it's great.
It's the greatest tape ever. New product that came out that I thought was interesting. Big fans of Power Bass as always. Love their drop-in speakers. They have a full line of speakers outside of just the drop-in stuff, and they have a new DSP. That's right. It's a 8-channel DSP. It's all Bluetooth, App Store type thing. I think it's like a retail. Retail was cheap, like under $300.
Under $300. Yes.
Oddly enough, tomorrow we have a box from Power Bass that showed up. If I was to guess, I'm thinking one of those is in there. But this was cool. I talked to our friend Jeff Fox. He told me all about it. You can see it's got gains on there. So there again, it might be a great starter DSP. We'll find out. But I just want to take a picture of it because, hey, I thought it was cool. Also, Dougie Fresh. Dougie Fresh recognizes this. I think he was one of the last things he built before he left Ground Zero. But this is the Reference Ultra. It's a big amplifier. I just enjoy this amplifier. I think it's very cool. It's a dual mono design. This amplifier holds a special place in my heart because when I was over at Emma, the Swedish Peter told me all about it. We got to hold the prototypes. So it's just one of those things where I've been along the journey with this amplifier. So it's always cool to see it in the reel and take it in. Plus, taking the picture that I took, awesome bokeh in the background, just blurred out everything. It's amazing what you can do with 100 megapixels. Moving on, this is going to be a new audio control display that dealers are going to be able to get. So it was really dark in there and I needed a flash, but in the bottom is a subwoofer, which you may be able to see. It just depends on how dark your screen is. But you can put any amplifier you want, a 6x9 component or 6.5, 6x9s components in a high 10. It'll be cool. It looked really nice. It's definitely going to fit in some retail stores. We got to spend some time with the Diamond Audio guys, and we were playing with this speaker. It just has a standalone. So it's got this giant, huge, this is an 8-inch, just to give you an idea. But it's got this giant tweeter in the center of it. And I was like, dude, this thing just has to rip some shit up. And he goes, oh, we have it in a can. And I said, oh, that thing's got to weigh a ton. And it didn't. He was like, no, these are the ultralight cans. And so we picked it up, and it was very lightweight, very like, holy cow, this isn't going to, like, it's not 50-pound can that you have to have dual brackets to hold up. So it was pretty cool. I thought that was neat that someone decided to make a can that the rest of us could lift up. So what's up, Ada? This is the Memphis Audio Motorsport subwoofer. So it comes in this plastic enclosure that you just bolt into whatever you want to put it in, a side-by-side, a golf cart, a boat. And I got to hear this when I was in Canada in the room, just sits on the floor in the room. It's a dual subwoofer design. So I believe there's a passive radiator in the back. I don't think it's another woofer, but there's two moving membranes in there. And I think there's one downfiring. So it might be like two passive radiators and one downfiring subwoofer. All I know is, holy crap. Like, I was like, bro, that's that? And he's like, yeah. I was like, that thing is freaking amazing. You didn't get to hear it. But, dude, this thing just rocks out. So, it's awesome. It was one of those things where I was like, that's kind of cool. I want one of those. That would be awesome in just like a living room. But it's not made for that. And it's all ABS, so you don't have to worry about it, dry rotting or falling apart or anything like that, which is really cool. We got to go over and talk to the Boss guys. Yeah. And what size is that one?
That's 29-inch.
I was going to say, it's like an 80-inch TV.
Yeah. I think it's a
14-inch?
14-inch, yes. Yeah. Yes.
It's just funny because, like, the one on the bottom is a 7-inch. So that's a 14-inch. And
the one in the
next
one is a 10.
Dude, it's so cool that the way you take these out. Ad and I were standing there talking with him, and he goes, watch this. And he pulls the screen out. There's two little buttons you press, and the whole screen just pops out. And then you click it back in, and the radio doesn't care. Yeah. Doesn't, like, reboot or nothing.
No. It's like, boom.
It's instantly. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's freaking awesome. So that was the biggest screen in the house. Pretty cool there. This is the new Pioneer. Yeah, and so a couple things about it. It has the really tiny, skinny 1/8-inch screen. So it's, for those of you that work with the Kenwood 7 or 8 series, and you're like, these don't mount into crap. This has that screen now, so yay.
Yeah.
I feel some of the other ones had it as well, but definitely Kenwood has stopped doing that moving forward. None of the radios are going to come that way because it sucks. If you notice on the right side, there's like a doorway with an arrow. That's going to just be a fast key into like CarPlay, and then you have the mic, and then you have what looks like 2 pieces of paper and like almost like a Windows logo and a dotted line. That's going to be so you can drag things up and down. That's like a touch bar that you drag things up and down on. That was kind of neat. But yeah, the operating system is changing. This will be the first in the new OS. So for those of you that are Pioneer guys and you're like, man, the operating system really hasn't changed a lot, this is the piece. This will have a bunch of new features that you've never seen before. And you'll be like, oh,
we've never seen them before.
This is so amazing. And we'll be like, we know. Kicker was on hand with this behemoth. This thing was just like crazy. I just thought it was cool.
I like it.
Yeah,
it was cool.
It was green. The lighting was green.
It had tubbies on the outside.
Tons of tubbies, tons of motorsport amplifiers. Obviously, it's got 2 big-ass Solo X's in it, so it was just insane. What was this, like a Bronco or something?
No, it's a Jeep.
Was it a Jeep? Oh, it was a Gladiator. Yeah, it was crazy. And like the sides open up, and there's tubbies. You can kind of see the butts of the tubbies there on the left and right side of the picture. It was really neat. And then it just closed up, and you didn't even know they were there. So it was pretty cool. My only beef would have been their power wire management. Just was not cool. EBS, new Chris Bennett's new employer. So they were on hand along with Zapco. These are some of the EBS speakers. I believe these are the 9000s. I could be wrong. I'm not up on all of their nomenclature. But yes, so there we go.
But those are the top of the line.
These are the top of the line. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
I just thought they were pretty, so I took a picture of them. And then this was the back of the Zapco Jag that they had.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, sexiest amplifiers in my mind right now are black and copper. Okay, like these are black and copper. I saw these 2 years ago, and I was like, I don't care. These are pretty amplifiers.
Yeah.
And saw them again in this car with this orangish copper look and the black and the lighting, and damn it, man, these things are so pretty. I don't know what it is about black and copper, but
no, they look nice.
They're gorgeous amplifiers. And these things are giant too, so they fit right into that brain of mine that wants to have big, stupid amplifiers. That's these. These things are just monstrous. And then our good friend Ada, it was cool to see this in person. It finally made sense seeing it in person because he's got those weird white side panels that I've never understood what those were. And as soon as you see the car in person, you go, oh, those are the wheels. And they look so much like the wheels that you're just like, oh, okay. That makes sense now. Now I get it.
Yeah.
But these are 4 of the JBL spare tire subwoofers that he mounted into place.
What's up, Bill?
In the back of there, it looked really cool. So this was definitely, he had a couple cars on display there that were really nice, but I like this because I finally got to see it, which is cool because I always enjoy that. And then this is the new Pico. So all the new Picos, this is the new body style of the Pico. It's got that cool writing on the top, the way they fade out the Pico. It looks cool. These are real tiny amplifiers. This guy has like a 20 amp fuse. It's a 4 to 8. So 4 to 8 meaning it has, this was a 6 to 8. I'm sorry, this was a 6 to 8. So 6 channels of power, or was it a 6 to 10?
I think it's a 6 to 10.
Might be a 6 to 10. So it's a 6-channel amplifier basically. And what you're looking at there is one of the new T harnesses available for like Tesla. So these allow you to plug right in. So they had these on display for everyone to touch and feel. And the cool thing is the Pico piece comes off. So you can flip it around and mount it any way you want. You don't actually have to, like, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat. And that takes us to the end of
That's it?
That was it. That was it.
Wow.
I mean, I don't want to go all night. We have thousands
3,000 pictures.
Thousands of pictures to choose from, but we don't want to go all night. So let's get started with some questions. And before we do that, I'm just going to turn this on. Hey guys, it's summertime. Are you ready? Is your vehicle ready? Are you ready? You're not ready? Okay, well, hey, if you want to make your little side-by-side motorcycle or any other little motorsport vehicle ready for the summer and you want the baddest bitch on the block.
Wow.
You need to pick yourself up. This guy right here, the Moto 720 all-weather amplifier. That's right, conformal coated and sexy. Tons of power, compact size. It'll do for them. It'll do to them. It's bridgeable. Yeah. And, hey, it just looks sexy. This is a nice piece of aluminum under here that's hiding all the stuff. No, they're all right there. Anyways.
It's nice.
Check them out, arcaudio.com, where you can find out about the whole Moto series. There's more than just amplifiers. There's also some, like, crazy speakers with giant loud making things that are just like, holy Jesus.
making things
like
awesome.
Big tweeters and monstrous mid-range. But anyways, so cool. All right, throw some questions on the screen. Whoa, that was an neat one. Ooh, that was, don't touch. Question.
Yes.
What Morel Focal 10-inch shallow mount sub would you recommend? 500, 800 watts range. So the best is the Utopia. Like, hands down, anyone who's ever done a Utopia shallow subwoofer is like, it's like insanely loud. It's also money. Outside of that, I check out the Flax. The Flax shallow is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice woofer. We put one in the Jeep, and it just outperformed the shit out of the box. So that kind of was a bummer. But, yeah, the Flax is definitely.
All right, but from Morel.
Why did I say
Flax?
I don't know why. I saw Morel and thought, or what's that, Focal?
Yeah, Focal
okay.
or Morel.
I lose my mind there for a minute.
Oh, it's okay.
Focal, Morel doesn't have a shallow 10-inch. They only have a shallow 12-inch.
Yeah.
So there isn't anything there. And they don't have anything that is remotely shallow in a 10-inch. They just 13.
Yeah.
So Focal it is for this one. Team Focal. You good?
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about foam speaker baffles? I hate them.
Perfect.
Absolutely hate them. They're called XTC baffles. If you feel like you need to have them, the thing you have to remember is that speakers that go in the doors of cars are infinite baffle drivers. They're made to work in a certain size cavity, which is usually about the size of a door. Crazy. If you use the foam XTC baffles, it's going to limit the spam. And I have the ringer off of my phone. That was my watch.
Wow.
Okay. They limit the performance of the speaker because you're baffling that speaker that's supposed to have lots of air with a very small amount of air. The XTC baffles were not made as enclosures for the speakers. They're baffles. How you want to use them is cut them into a mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
Use them to keep the rain and all this stuff from getting on top of them. So cut them in half and do the little U on the bottom so you keep the foam spacer. And that's how you want to use them. You want to use them as a rain shield if you're worried about particulates. You could also do that with just a fast ring or something like that, to where you have that back foam that's going to keep the weather off of them. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Here you go.
Hi, guys. Question for you.
What adapter
will
will you use? I have a 2020 Ram Classic 1500. I don't think there is an amplifier in.
So you have 4 choices. You have Metra. I haven't done that one yet, so I don't know what the results would be on it. Our preferred method of doing this is going iData and either doing the DSR1. So just integrate the DSR1. And I know it's not amplified, and you're going, what is that? Oh, hold on. So it's 2020 RAM. That falls in the category of it doesn't matter if it's amplified or non-amplified. When you take either an Amp Pro or an iData AR solution, it will reprogram the factory radio to think that it is the amplified Alpine system and therefore give you the preamp output that's required in order to get amazing sound. So it's going to shut off. Now, the reason why we typically go with the DSR1 as opposed to the Amp Pro is the Amp Pro does not have a DSP built into it. So if you're not doing somebody else's DSP, which most people don't, then you're going to be disappointed because you really wish you had an EQ or a DSP. If you do DSR1, or you could also do the Arc Audio PSM Pro, or you can do the Arc Audio Blackbird, just to name two of the options. There are more, but those are our two favorite ones. You get a full DSP, or you get a full DSP amplifier that will then integrate into the car and take full advantage of reflashing the factory radio to amplified. What that does is that removes the bass roll-off, that removes the EQ, that removes anything that the factory radio is doing to screw up the sound, and gives you a flat, non-variable 4-volt output into the amplifier. Now, depending on which module you use, you get to have a lot of fun with it. So there you go.
There you go. All right.
There you go. Did you make a video of your back wall? No. It's in a lot of videos, but we've never really, because it changes quite frequently. How do you deal with really short runs of RCAs from, say, DSP to amp that may be a 1 foot to 2 foot long? So this is one of those things that irritates the crap out of me, because as much as we would all love to just make our own RCAs from Scratchola and just be like, custom fit, the reality is it's just not something that, one, most people can do, and two, most people can pay us to do in our case. So we have to come up with a way to make this work. So you have a 1.5 foot, you have 3 footers. I've been begging every single RCA manufacturer to please make a foot, a half foot, a 1.5 foot, a 2 foot, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. That's what we need. We don't need 17 and 20, 25. Who the hell's using a 25-foot RCA? Like, how many of those are you using a year? Okay. And they're just not getting it. And it's really frustrating. It's super frustrating. The first person that actually listens to me and does it, we are going to talk about them nonstop for free for a long time, because like that just make me happy. So typically what we'll do is we'll try to manipulate the amp rack so that we can absorb as much of the extra that we need. So if it's like a 1 foot, we'll use a 1.5 foot. If it's a 2 foot, we'll use a 3 foot. So we have like a foot to hide. Every RCA should not be super tight into the input. So, you can get a couple inches there by just adding in the appropriate loop. If it's so bad that like you can't do it, typically what we'll do is if there's a 90 or a bend or something like that, or right at the amplifier, we'll drill a hole. In some cases, we'll drill the hole underneath the amplifier. So if it comes up to the amp, we'll have it come under the amp and then out like this, and we'll absorb all that RCA either in the hole underneath the amp rack or underneath the amplifier itself so that you don't see it. Basically, all we're doing is hiding it very coolly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
I will say this. If you decide to hide it underneath the amp rack like that, make sure you do it in a place where you're not going to drill any more holes. It really sucks if you accidentally drill through the RCA. Not saying I've ever done it before, but I've definitely done it before. It's just kind of disappointing. Yeah, it sucks. Anyways, moving on. Have you heard Museway speakers and DSP amps? Yes. Yes, we have. Our good friend...
Joseph Norton.
Thank you. So I keep him around. Our good friend Joseph. I was going to say Joseph. The Norton always... Because I always want to call him Edward Norton. Edward Norton, the actor.
Okay.
Because anyways, so Joseph Norton works for Museway. When we were in Vegas, we got a chance to sit in his car. He did some pretty amazing things. I'm really bummed we didn't get a chance to film it, but yeah, we won't talk about that. Okay. But no, it sounded fabulous. It was definitely one of the best sounding cars there. Does that mean you should run out and buy those? I don't know, but it was an amazing sounding car. So yeah. Speaking of amazing sounding cars, do you need some amazing speakers? Yeah, I was going to say, you can hide that. Do you need some amazing speakers? Well, of course you do. Who doesn't? Head over to audiocontrol.com where you can check out the new PNW line of speakers. Do you need a 6.5? Do you need a 6.5 component? Do you need a 6x9 component? Do you need a 2 ohm 3.5 to replace those Alpine crappy speakers in your Jeep Gladiator or anything with premium audio that says Chrysler Jeep Dodge on it? Well, they've got them, and they sound amazing, and they will allow you to pop those ugly, nasty Alpine speakers or Dre speakers or whatever out, put their cool 2 ohm 3.5 in, and immediately make your car sound better for a reasonable amount of money. You need subwoofers. They have 2. They have a shallow. Someone was asking about a shallow subwoofer earlier. They have the Spikes. No, Spike?
Spike.
Spike. Space.
Spike and Space.
Spike and Space.
Spike is the big one. Space is the shallow.
See?
Yeah. That's
Fernando. That's right here. Comes with grills. They also have pre-made boxes. They have a whole line of speakers, guys. Basically what I'm saying. So head over to audiocontrol.com where you can check them out. One of the other cool things they have that's really neat. So if you buy like their 3.5-inch mid-range and you want to make a 3-way set, you can buy either the 6x9 and tweeter component or the 6.5 tweeter component. And they sell this big passive crossover if you're not going to go active that allows you to easily integrate there. You remove, and it's really cool. It's got all these switches and buttons on it. We did a full review on it. It's a really cool piece. Nobody makes anything like it, but allows you to do multiple amplifier combinations, bi-amp modes. You can bi-amp just the tweeter and mid to, let's say, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 get power in the mid bass. So there's a lot of different things you can do with it. So it's really cool.
It is?
Yeah, it is. It's fantastical.
All right.
Can I pull this one?
Yeah, that one. That's what I was about.
Thank you, Flynn, for the $10.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the 10.
I'm sure you've mentioned it, and I missed it. But wanting to add a 5-channel amp, Morel Mizzen tweets, and a sub to a 2022 Silverado. What do I need harnesses, interfaces wise to connect to factory non-Bose head unit? I tell you what, if you want to make it super easy for yourself, Metra makes an interface to do that. That is for the non-Bose system. They also have one for the Bose system. But I would head over to metraonline.com. It's a T-harness with the appropriate high-level, low-leveling. That's all right there. And I believe it also deals with your door chime, if I'm not mistaken. But I would start there, Morel. I'm sorry, metraonline.com. Bah. So, yeah. And their T-harness works. I know this for a fact. It was a bad experience, and theirs saved the day. And that pissed me off because the other one should have worked, and it didn't. I was not happy. You remember that.
Yeah.
Somebody was going to die.
Yeah.
Luckily, there was no one around for me to kill, except for Fernando. I would never do that. But, no, check that out.
And thank you for the 10, man.
All right, I'm going to save that right there. Arc Blackbird, would you consider this an SQ, and could you power a complete system with this amp, and what speaker configurations would you recommend? Thank you. Steven. All right, so our good friend that works at Arc Audio is this little guy named Brian Mitchell. He walks around with these two little mascot dogs of him that are just a pain in the ass. But anyways, he drives a GMC Sierra huge pickup truck. And in this armrest is a Blackbird. And in his A-pillars or his dash is a set of RS arcs and a set of RS arcs in the bottom of the door. And he has 2 subs in the back. Originally was powered all off the Blackbird. And man, when you say, would I consider it an SQ? I think he would, because he has trophies to prove how amazing it sounds. Like many trophies, like too damn many trophies. It's almost disgusting. So yes, it is definitely an SQ amplifier. If you'd like to go full arc, check out the RS line of speakers. Otherwise, any high-end speaker to go onto it, we put everything there is into it. So we've done Morel, we've done Focal. That's not everything. It's just 2 brands. I know. I'm sorry. But we've done a lot of speakers out. There are only like 2 we care about. Anyways, no. Definitely a SQ for sure.
He just kicked me out.
Did it? Oh, we'll just reboot it. I know. Good evening, guys. With the Zen A to B going away, what will be the best option for Ford BO integration? Actually, right now, you're in like this amazing time for integration into BO because there's a ton. So PAC has their BO interface. Mobridge also has their BO interface. And soon to ship, which you're going to learn all about here soon, is the new Maestro A to B interface. Definitely one of the most advanced ones so far to come out. You're going to learn all about this because you're going to get a video on this Wednesday. So Wednesday, we're doing a spotlight on the Maestro A to B piece, a first look at it because this is an early piece. So we got one, and we're going to tell you guys all about it and how it works and what's cool about it. So stay tuned. But yes, this will be the solution that you're going to be looking for because these are the droids you're looking for.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You're back in.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Hang on.
Am I hanging on? Do that. It's about time Dean and Fernando started reading questions and comments and interacting on the lives. Otherwise, it might as well be a video to watch later. Usually, it's just them talking with Rob Vega.
Oh, I didn't know that we work for you.
What?
Yeah.
I think you're confusing the two channels.
No.
Because you're never on with Hi-Fi. But on Thursdays, I do a show with Hi-Fi Vega on his channel where all we do is talk about car stereo stuff.
Yeah.
We've actually been doing this show here on Monday nights for the last 10 years answering questions. And then we do it again on Saturday.
No.
And then we do it again every day on Instagram. We answer a lot of freaking questions.
Yeah. No, if you want
But
your
if
question,
it's your first time here,
you know, that would be cool. Just drop some money and then I would put it up. Yeah. Yeah, it's just easy. It's so easy.
Okay. Anyways, hold on. I want to go back to where was it? This one.
Perfect.
All right. Hey guys, from 158 Arizona, need guidance on my new KDC X705. There are crossover settings on it, and I'm not sure if I should use them because I'm using the crossover in my RF2 750.5. What should I do? Okay, that's a great question because really, at the end of the day, it's a redundancy almost, right? There are some things like you could stack crossovers if you wanted to make a 24 dB network, which we'll get to because I might as well cover it since I brought it up. But what do we do? All right, so here in the install bay, if we're doing that system and we have the we have that 5-channel, we're going to be using the crossovers and the amplifier. And the reason why we're going to do that is because the ones in the radio are too easy to get to, and I don't want someone to get in there and start, you know, I have my friend who's good with tools is going to get in there and start screwing with the crossovers. I would much rather use the ones on the amplifier. The amplifier is usually in the trunk or underneath the seat where someone is going to get to it and start turning the dials. I'm not saying they don't, but most of the time it doesn't happen. And this will allow us to make sure that we have preset crossover points that aren't going to get screwed with. Now, you as the owner of the car, understanding how it works is a different scenario. Me personally, I would much rather use the crossovers in my radio and leave the ones in my amplifier off. Therefore, when I need to, I can get in and just adjust it. Now, you could still do a hybrid model where you say, I'm going to set the crossovers in the amplifier, let's say 60 or 70, and then I'll use the radio to adjust whether I'm doing like heavy bass music. I want my crossovers at like 90 or 100, or you know, slower music that doesn't have all that, and I'm going to play it at 80 maybe. And then the 50 at the amplifier is just like a safety net in case somebody starts screwing stuff up, your radio does something stupid, or you have one of those radio where the battery is disconnected, it doesn't remember it, or something like that. Now, when I had mentioned stacking the crossovers, if for some reason you wanted to do a 24 dB Linkwix Riley, in order to achieve that, you need two 12 dB Butterworths. Oh, this is crazy. So if you set the one on the amp at 80 and you set the one on the radio at 80, then you'd have a steeper crossover network. You could have a 24 dB Linkwix Riley. Could be good, might not. Probably not anything you want to do. That's kind of geeky, but there you go. That's the first part of the question answer was really what you want to think about. Okay. I currently have an 8-channel amp DSP. I like my rear fill 4-channel. What do you think about integrating those EQD channels
EQD
into the unamplified channels 9 and 10 on the Blackbird?
I'm going a 3-way with mid-bridge.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is, if you like rear channels, use rear channels. I mean, go to town. And I think there is a surround sound option in the settings that you can route to. Yeah. Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, get a small amplifier, power them up, go to town. Why would you not? Are Kicker Key 501 amps known for running extra warm? I'm running one Rockford 4 ohm DVC 12 inch sub wired in parallel at 2 ohms. Mine gets warmer than I think it should, even at low volumes. So the real question is, does it ever shut off? Whether it's at high volumes or low volumes, it really doesn't matter. It's going to get warm. It's got a MOSFET. It's a heat sink, which is designed to remove the amplifier from the circuit board. So if the heat sink is getting warm, it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. Keep in mind, these are very small footprint amplifiers, so it's wanting to shed as much heat as it can off of that circuit board as fast as it can. So we have never had an issue with the 501 going into thermal of any kind. So let it do its job. Stop touching your amplifier. You know, you're going to end up like the guy from Indiana Jones. You'll have like a kicker on your hand. You'll be able to find the Ark of the Covenant. But no, these small amplifiers all run hot. There's no question about it. Every single one that everyone makes, they get hot because it's a small piece, man.
Oh, look at this.
I would love to. Hey.
Thank you for the 10, buddy.
I have a dumb question. I have a dumb answer.
Yeah.
I have a mono 600 watts, 2 ohm, 2 subs, but in different locations. One is in the middle of the console, one out back. Does each sub get 300 watts or both get full 600 watts? Subs are 2 ohms.
I mean, are they the same size?
Okay, so no. Okay, so the reality of it is if your subs are 2 ohm, that's going to be a 1 ohm mono load on the amplifier. So hopefully the amplifier does 1 ohm mono.
Take 1 ohm, yeah.
Okay, but what you have to know is that no, they're both not getting 600 watts. That'd be a 1200 watt amplifier. So they're going to get half of whatever the power is. Each one will get half. So if you have a 600 watt amp, each one will get 300 watts.
My only question will be if that's the same subwoofer, you know?
Well, no, it would still matter. You're still going to get 300 watts to each location.
Yes.
What you're getting at is, will there be cancellation because you have one up front, one here? They're going to arrive differently, which could cause weird things happening. More or less the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for example, if you have I don't know. If you have a 12 in the back and you have a 10 in the front, or 8, you might gonna blow the 8 because you put too much power to the 12.
Yeah, you're talking of setting it up, and
like,
then you have to set it up for the lowest common denominator. Yes. So you have to set it up for the 8. So the 12 has to play like an 8 because it's a mono amp. But to your question, they'll both get half the power of whatever the total power is of the amplifier.
Yes.
So that's how that works.
Oh, look at that one.
Go ahead.
I am happy with my Rockford B300. However, I'm really itching for an SQ sub. How much of a difference is really? I mean, $300 for what I have. Yeah,
is a steal. So the cool thing about the P300 is that it just puts out bass. It does its job. It does its job really, really well. I mean, we sell an obscene amount of these things. Like, it's almost, Fernando put one in today while I was finishing up the SC400. It's a great piece. It does what it does. Are there subwoofer combinations out there that will perform better? 100%. Volume-wise, if you swap one out, you're probably not going to get much more volume.
Yeah.
The question is what is the source unit? So if you're talking about a factory radio, don't even bother, because the factory radio is really what's limiting the performance of the P300 and how good it can sound, because there's going to be an EQ in the factory radio there again that's limiting the performance of that driver. So, you would need something with a DSP to kind of figure out that signal. Equalization basically is what I'm getting at. So at $300, it's fabulous. To make something SQ and really outperform that, you're going to spend probably triple the amount of money to do that. Definitely more than double. You can DIY it and save some money there, but you're going to need something that can you're going to need maybe a key lock, and then you need a bigger amplifier, and you might need a bigger power wire now, and then you'll need to build a box or buy a subwoofer that, like, if you like Rockford, getting something like one of their pre-built boxes or a kicker pre-built box or an audio control pre-built box. So there's a lot of variables there. If you want it louder, though, just add a second one. That's actually a really easy thing to do.
Now what I was thinking is now you have the P300. You can check wherever you buy the P300 and buy the P500.
Ooh, it's ported.
And it's the same plug. You don't have to change anything. You just try it, see if you like it, and that's what you're looking for. If you know, then you have to go with what Dean says. So,
thanks, Dean. I'll stop touching my amp. There you go. Stop touching it. Stop touching it. You're gonna go blind. Hey, have you guys heard of this brand Focal? Every now and then we talk about them. And right now, they're going to take over the last 15 minutes of the show as the sponsor. One of Fernando's favorite speakers of all times is the K2 series. And it's just been updated to the ES165 KX3E or Evo line. Yeah. They have the new frac tweeter. They have the new 2.5-inch mid-range. It's fantastic. If you're looking to be part of the club is the easiest way to say it. They can say, oh, I've heard K2.
And fancy, huh?
And it's fancy.
Yeah.
Then you'll definitely want to check out the Focal.
Yes, for sure.
You can head over to focal-america.com and check this stuff out because it is phenomenal.
Yes.
Or if you're just like wanting to like have some Focal stuff, they make Auditor too, which is, $79, $100.
Yep.
Can you guys recommend an amp lineup that has a built-in DSP with live RTA, and that is good for novices? Mosconi, Audio Control, JL. If what other DSPs do you recommend for novice? Helix. Okay, so there's a lot going on with this question because when you say built-in DSP with live RTA. Mm-hmm. There's two types of RTAs. You have electrical RTA, and you have acoustical RTA. Electrical RTA is what allows us to see the signal that is coming from the speakers or RCA signal into the amplifier. If we're integrating into a factory stereo, we need a electrical RTA because we need to see what is coming in. Out of the DSPs listed, the Helix and the Mosconi both have that as well as the audio control. Will give you a live RTA input. Now, for the tuning side of things, you need a acoustical RTA, which is going to be done with a microphone. There again, it's a little bit different. JL has the ability to do this with their TuneMax software. You do have to buy the USB mic. Helix has the ability to do this. You do have to buy the USB mic. Mosconi has the ability to do this, but you have to use the Barney head in order to do it. JL,
with only Mosconi.
Only Mosconi. JL can also do it with the TuneMax big multi-array microphone system that they have. Alpine also has this feature built into their new DSPs, but you actually use your phone. So you just move your phone around. And it does.
The Optim 8.
Yeah, the Optim 8 is that. Good call. As far as input RTAs go, hands down, the best input RTA is going to be on the Electromedia, which is the Forza amplifiers. Theirs is fantastic. Like, it's the easiest one to use. It does the most features. It's pretty awesome. Helix has it, which is pretty good. Mosconi has it, which is they're both okay. Nothing is as good as the Electromedia stuff. However, the nice thing is that you can also just buy an IRTA2, which is a 2-channel electrical RTA, and that's what Arc Audio uses when they tune their systems. And a lot of other manufacturers, they just put ours into one of the two outputs, and they can look at it on an iPad and do all that fun stuff. Ours is just electrical, though, so you have to decide what you're trying to do. Now, as far as which one is the easiest to use, the great thing is you can download a lot of the stuff and play with it. But then the question is, you don't know what you don't know, right? So it's kind of hard to figure out, like, oh, my God, what do I do? And it can be really fun and exciting. The better, so I will just say this. The better DSPs like the Forza from Electromedia, all their line, all of the Helix stuff, all the Arc Audio stuff, all the Mosconi stuff, those are the really super advanced DSPs, okay? Meaning they can do a ton of stuff. They have input EQs, they have output EQs, they have main EQs, they have correction for every anomaly that's going to pop into it.
Correct.
Some of them have even more features that make them separate themselves, like rear effect, all kinds of neat stuff. If you can work one of those DSPs, then you're better off spending the extra money to get one of those because they will fix more problems. What usually happens is somebody falls into one of these. Like I was reading a comment, somebody was coming out with a new DSP, and I can't wait to get rid of this and buy one of these. And it's like, are you insane?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's the DSP you're gonna buy doesn't do half the stuff okay. But the reality is they just can't figure out the software. So audio control by far has some of the easiest software to use, hands down. By far one of the easiest software to use. However, once you start using software and you start understanding how things work, then you're like, oh, well, man, I really wish I would have gotten something a little bit more advanced. So, yeah, or you never know. You might be, some people are content. Like Doritos are great chips, right? I don't need anything else.
All right.
Favorite sub position. Facing front. Okay, this is almost
facing
kind
front,
of
rear,
this is like a perverted
sideways.
question. What's your favorite position?
Oh, front, baby. Always the front. That's so bad.
Dude, you got so giddy.
That's so bad, man.
Oh my god. Okay, so preferred subwoofer positions in cars, either down firing or firing towards the rear. Those are what I like, But yeah, so
okay.
What type of sound treatment should I use in the rear side panels of a 2-door to cut outside rose noise? So
yeah.
When adding sound treatment to a car, there's basically 2 types of sound treatment available to you, and various brands. So there's some kind of butyl with aluminum, and then some kind of butyl with aluminum, then foam. Okay, and that's really about it. There's just variations of that as far as how thick the butyl is and what's the butyl made out of.
Material, yep.
Okay, all of that. There's 3 parts to a door, okay? And this is the most important thing. You have the outside, you have the middle, which is where the speaker is mounted, and you have the door panel itself, also referred to as the door card. Levels of importance as far as what you need to worry about is the door card should be number 1, meaning that thing buzzes, rattles, and creates most of the headaches for the installation is the door card, okay, or panel. For that, we like to use something with butyl, metal, and foam, okay, because the foam is the outside piece. When you put it back on, it's going to touch the metal, so you have it like a double. Then you have the inside of the door panel, or inside of the door, I should say. That is when you do this on the door, okay. The speaker up here, way over by the handle, it's never going to rattle that, okay? It's not moving that much air. If you're trying to kill road noise, then yes, you want to cover the whole inside skin and, of course, the door panel. Mm-hmm. For the speaker, though, it wants to have the most solid baffle it can have. So that middle layer, in my mind, is the second most important. And then the area directly behind the speaker is what I'm going for acoustics and interior whatnot. So that's it. So as far as brands, pick one you like. There's a ton of them out there. We use Stinger. We use Morel, makes sound treatment that we use now. Nick makes Resonex, which is like the most expensive badass shit you can buy. Sound Shield, another one. There's a bunch. Or just go for the old faithful Roadkill.
Dynamite?
Yes.
There you go.
Just don't get the thin. The thin sucks.
No, don't get the thing.
That's crap. If it's blue, it's not for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you get a chance to hear the Zabco Jaguar?
I did.
And we're going to leave it at that?
Yeah.
They just finished it before it showed up.
Well, yeah, in the fans, they start playing something and right away, it's like, oh, wow, this is not. And he told me, yes, it's no tune, it's nothing. We just finish it. It was like 3, 4 in the morning. We just bring it over here so they can show the speakers.
So they should not be letting anybody listen to it at that point.
I agree.
Yes.
But the good thing is, like he was saying, okay, listen, you want to listen to it? It's just.
It sounds like crap.
Yeah, but they didn't tune it. They didn't have the time to do it. But
can you help me narrow down the DSP amps? Looking at the Museway M10, Audison 12 to 14, and Zabco 6 to 12. Not Helix because plan to bridge some of the channels. Okay. This is why somebody said if you go with Museway, you have Joseph Norton as tech support. If you go with Audison, though, you have Chris McNulty and you also have Ken Ward.
Yeah.
Ken Ward trumps them all, guys. Out of this list, though, no offense to anyone on it, I would buy the Audison, hands down, not even a question. The 12 to 14 is the Forza stuff in general is just really badass amplifiers. Yeah. And they're going to get the Helix. You're going to bridge some channels. So that is the one problem with the Helix that is always kind of like, is that I can't bridge channels. So in Audison, they actually put it on the box. All channels are bridgeable. And the cool thing is that you also have the companion amplifiers for it. So like you still have 2 channels open there on the DSP. You can buy a matching companion amplifier. So you can buy a 4-channel, bridge it to a 2-channel and have some serious power in a 2-channel amplifier, or put 2 monoblocks on it. You could also, as Christian said, you could also use the Arc Audio Blackbird, which is an 8 to 12. And then they also have their companion amplifier, which is the Nighthawk. And then your tech support is Fred Lynch or Brian Mitchell, if we're just comparing names, which are, I don't know. It'd actually be Brian Mitchell because Fred, I don't think, answers the phone anymore. Or you just talk to Brad, who's the engineer. He answers the phone sometimes too. He's a pretty smart guy. It's not, he's a pretty smart guy. Brian is okay. Brian is okay. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of world championships, and he's hey, by the way, smell that? God. Those are my farts. They smell like roses.
Dude, the whole room is full.
Oh, I wish I could talk about it, but soon enough. But yes, you could also do the Arc Audio Blackbird. Which, if that was on the list, I would have bought that. But you would put it on the list. What the hell?
Yeah. Right.
Now he's going, crap. I got to rethink my whole thing. I got to go look at this Arc Audio Blackbird thing. And you can bridge channels on that amplifier, too. Oh, and it has 3 EQs. Oh, it's so awesome. And if you want to know more about it, in this feed here, we did have Brian do a whole hour-long show talking all about it. So there's that to check out. Is it possible? Okay, is it possible to run 3-way active front stage setup if you run 2 kicker key 200.4s with 3-inch and a 1-inch tweeter on one key and a 6.5 bridge on the second key? Thanks. No, you can't bridge a kicker key. Kicker keys are not bridgeable. By the way, they're not bridgeable. Okay, so here's the problem. The key was not designed to do this. And I've tried to think of any way possible to get this to work because I had 2 kicker keys and I was thinking, all right, here's what I want to do. I want to put a 3.5 in the tweet. And the crossovers in it are just not made to do that. Channels 1 are made to be a tweeter or mid-range only. Channels 3 and 4 are made to either be a mid-bass or a coaxial. So it's not designed to work that way. You could run one on like front mid-bass and front mid-range, but as soon as it sees front and rear, it's automatically going to think the front ones are coaxials and not components. It's going to be listening for the tweeter, so it's going to try to EQ it wrong. So as fun as this was, we've game planned this every way from Sunday to try to figure out how we could possibly do this. In the end, we always ran into the same thing from kicker. Why? Why would you do that? Like, well, why wouldn't we? So it's a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. Don't do that. Yeah. So, Dean, Fernando, thank you for you guys.
Thank you for watching, guys.
For Car Audio. Thank you. Let me shut that off. I'd like to thank our sponsors for this show.
Yeah.
The good friends at focal-americ.com. We just like to refer them as Focal. They're awesome. I would like to thank the guys from Audio Control, making some of the new badass PMW speakers, as well as Arc Audio, just coming through and being cool, man. Just being cool. They're, of course, one of our new sponsors, and we really like working with them because, they take control of the situation. Next week, we'll be talking about some new stuff from them. Okay, not new stuff and like new equipment, just like a new pitch, so to speak.
In 2 days. In 2 days comes out.
Yeah, so
Thank you,
Wednesday
guys.
is going to be a fun day for us. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to know more about what's happening here in the install bay or ask questions during the week when we're live and not talking with Hi-Fi Vega, which we never do, you can tune in on Instagram where we like to do a show where we call 5 Minutes of 5-Star, which is so fun. We tell you what the heck is going on with this. This is a cool little 911 mini series that we're doing over on Instagram right now. 2 episodes today, and of course we'll take a look tomorrow and see what's changed on it. Coming up with some plans. It's kind of fun. I like doing that. That's about it, man. I'm gonna go with this right here. Great way to end. Have a great week. Stay cool. Hydrate a lot.
That.
For sure, man.
See you guys tomorrow. 5 minutes with 5-Star, guys.
You guys have a great week. Fade to black.
Bye, guys.